recording.
Welcome to our first episode. I'm so excited.
Me too. I'm excited too. It's good to be here.
I'm Alexa.
I'm David.
And we're so excited to start this journey with you guys. Ooh.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we wanted to start this podcast as a passion project, I'd say. I've always wanted to start my own podcast, just talking about any thoughts I've had, elaborating on things I think are interesting, and I'm very excited to be able to share this with you guys today. So thank you all so much for tuning in today, and let's get sunny.
Let's do it.
So for today's topic, we wanted to kick off our first episode with a topic that David and I are extremely passionate about. Since me and David are long distance, we Zoom basically every single night. And one night I was telling him about this prism that my friend had on her desk. And at the time I didn't know what it did. So I started asking her questions about it. And she explained to me that this prism, which essentially looked like epoxy with crystals inside, she explained that it was a method of protecting you from EMF radiation and 5G. At the time, I didn't know what either of those things were, so I was just like, okay, whatever.
Right.
So I was telling David about this prism, and I wanted to show him what it was, so I Googled it. And I got these recommended products to purchase, and one of them caught my eye, so I decided to follow the link. And let me just say, we quickly fell down a rabbit hole, and we found out so much information.
We have a lot to share with you today.
So the website we found is called Conscious Copper, and it claims to sell products that protect from 5G and EMF radiation.
All right, so for those of you who don't know what EMF is, it stands for electromagnetic fields, and these are created by differences in voltages. The higher in the voltage, the stronger the resultant field. Generally, these are expressed through hertz, gigahertz, megahertz, kilohertz, things like that. And there is naturally occurring electromagnetic fields, and there's human-made sources of electromagnetic fields. Now, the natural ones we are exposed to all day, every day, like sunlight, even radio waves that can be built in or emitted through rocks. Sometimes radio waves can be emitted through rocks and actually create sounds. Human-made sources are like x-rays, where you get x-rays for your teeth or if you broke a bone. The other human-made ones are like microwaves, where you cook your food, or TV antennas, radio stations, and even the infamous 5G that we're all hearing about.
Yes, the infamous 5G. So the reason why I think a lot of people are scared of 5G is because people have started conspiracy theories as to, the infamous, the 5G towers are creating coronavirus and they're spreading the coronavirus. Like, it starts from conspiracy theories such as that. And they think that it causes things such as cancer and illnesses. Some of the other things that people say that they experience from 5G and EMF radiation are insomnia, headaches, irritability, depression, nausea, changes in memory. Literally so many things they feel as though are caused by 5G.
These things sound pretty serious.
Exactly. And I feel like that's why a lot of people are kind of scared of 5G.
Right, exactly. So what exactly is 5G? 5G stands for fifth generation, and we're all familiar with 4G and 4G LTE. The 4G has a frequency range of 600 megahertz to 6 gigahertz, which is 6,000 megahertz. We all know that no one has really had too many conspiracy theories about this being harmful at all. The 5G has a frequency range of 28 gigahertz to 39 gigahertz and can even go up to 300 gigahertz. Now, that is a lot more than just 6 gigahertz. Now, this frequency range does penetrate through our bodies, but it is not even close to dangerous. And here's why. Visible light, the stuff we see, your light bulbs, your cell phones that emit the light onto your face. Anything you actually see is through the visible light spectrum. Now, the visible light spectrum ranges between, and get this, 450 terahertz to 750 terahertz.
Okay.
That is 1,000 times stronger than 5G.
Wow. I think that really puts it into perspective, I think a lot of people they hear, oh, like 5G is like causing all these symptoms for me, and they don't even like really realize how it actually is compared to things such as like x-rays or like even visible light, like you're saying.
Absolutely. Now, the sun emits ultraviolet light. Now, ultraviolet light has a frequency range of 8 terahertz to 3 exahertz, which is 3,000 terahertz. So if these things are not by day-to-day vaporizing people, then clearly 5G is not going to be doing the same.
And I can kind of understand why people would be scared, you know what I mean? Unless you're a part of like the tech world, I would say, or you're familiar with 5G. People have been like bringing it up. I know it's been around for a long time, but people they're introduced to this new concept, or at least new to them, they start to worry,
Exactly. Now, 5G has been around in Wi-Fi routers and cordless phones forever, like landlines, but it's pretty new to the network and cell phone technology.
Mm-hmm. So with that out of the way, I would love to get into the products this website sells. So while David and I were on our Zoom call, I was wanting to show him those epoxy pyramids. And an ad came up for the Lattice Home EMF Defense. So upon clicking the link, it explains that the Lattice Home EMF Defense is a product to which you are supposed to put in any room of your house, and it'll protect you from EMF and 5G. They also carry products such as the Ripple Cell Phone EMF Defense, which you just plug into your cell phone in the charging port. The website also contains a quantum line, which consists of wearables such as their EMF necklace, their EMF ring, and their EMF bracelet, which you wear on a day-to-day basis to protect you from EMF and 5G.
So circling back over to the Lattice, it's this little copper cube kind of looking thing that has a bunch of little extrusions on it. Now, when Alexa and I were on our Zoom call, I was like, hey, this kind of looks like a copper heat sink, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, we'll dive into that a little bit later. But onto the description of the Lattice, it says that it is effective for 5G. It has home EMF defense. It has an embedded beam, which is trademarked, according to them, system, an embedded beam system. It has a range of 500 square feet per room. It works in any room of the home and has dual equilibrium room placement. Now, this is kind of interesting to me because how do they make this claim of 500 square feet and all these different things? So you can actually take one of these home for $68, not including shipping, and it is effective again for 2 whole rooms.
For $68, it better be effective for 2 rooms.
Absolutely.
Also, and as it says, it better work in any room in the house for $68.
$68. I better hope that's effective for my bathroom. Heck yeah.
I would love to know what dual equilibrium room placement is. That's my favorite.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They probably put stuff in there to make it sound super interesting and intricate, just hoping nobody actually really thinks about what they're saying.
Right, and does their research and see what the heck it's all about.
So as for the other products, they basically go along the same lines. They all mention the beam system, the coveted beam system. And then as for everything else, it kind of varies about how big the product is, about how effective it'll be. So looking at each product, all of the descriptions are basically the same. They mention the beam system, and they all work within 300 to 500 feet, just depending on the one you purchase.
Now, this beam system seems pretty interesting. Would you like to read what the beam system is?
Absolutely. On their website, they have a beautiful chart of a rainbow man. A beautiful rainbow man next to the beam systems. So, quoted directly from the website, it states, "Beam, bioenergetic attunement mechanism. Our beam methodology brings the metaphysical to the physical world by incorporating the practices of higher consciousness and awareness to physical tokens of embodiment and manifestation. Beam focuses life energy forces and directs them to specific targeted areas to enhance and augment your natural physical and mental abilities already inherent within. I just want to add, they actually spelled mental wrong. They spelled it MENATAL. This is a website you really want to be giving $68.
Oh, absolutely.
Not including shipping.
Not included. This is hilarious. They're saying the metaphysical and higher awareness, you said?
Yeah.
That's basically just saying like, hey, I believe this works, so therefore it does.
It's kind of like when you're trying to write a paper to meet the 500 word count and you're like, this will just sound really good.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like saying a lot without saying anything.
Exactly.
So throughout the website, they have various different trademarks that they claim to have, such as the beam, the lattice, the quantum, and the ripple. So I was kind of curious. I'm like, there is absolutely no fucking way that they have these trademarked. So I went to the United States government's website for trademarks and shocker, I could not find any single one that they had provided.
We found some ones that had the same name, like Ripple or Quantum, that were trademarked, but were not even associated with this website, even in the slightest.
There was a lot that were associated with like dairy.
There was a lot. Yeah, a lot of dairy stuff, which was really weird because why would you have a quantum trademark associated with dairy?
I get the quantum shits with I get the quantum shits with dairy. That's so bad, dude.
My toilet does be rippling.
Stop. Them shits be rippling through me. Oh my god. Oh gosh. So, on a serious note, after doing this digging, I was getting pretty concerned. I'm like, there is no way they even create these products. So, we did some extra digging and found out they don't actually create these products.
So we reversed Google searched these images. You can just go to google.com, go to Google Images, and just drag over the image to Google Images, and it will show not only that exact photo if it can find it, but it will show similar products. So back to when I was talking about the Lattice home defense, it looked like a copper heatsink to me. And I was like, well, let's reverse Google image search this.
So for those of you who don't know, a copper heatsink is a device that you put on top of a CPU on a computer to help cool the device.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's used to kind of increase the surface area and just kind of take away the heat from computer components.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a reverse Google image search and found it. And I even found it on a website called DigiKey for 99 cents. Now, again, Conscious Copper's trying to sell this whole thing for $68, and they do claim to have a beam mechanism in there, which really honestly doesn't even make sense to me because a mechanism would imply there's moving parts. And within a heatsink, no moving parts. Sorry. But within this website we found, it's a heatsink for a Raspberry Pi, which is basically just a little computer that you can get and do little electronic engineering stuff with it. It's pretty neat. And again, 99 cents on this, and basically the same product.
So not only with the Lattice, we found every single other product this website was selling. We found them on Alibaba, we found them on AliExpress, and Google. You know, as David was explaining, you can find them basically anywhere.
And for really cheap.
And for really, really cheap. The most I've seen one of the products go for, which I believe was the quantum EMF necklace on AliExpress, it was at most $2.88. And I believe they were trying to sell this EMF necklace for $58. That is a significant profit margin.
Oh yeah, I'd even say a ripoff and a half. So they also had this other device called the Ripple, which again they had trademarked. Couldn't find the trademark on it anywhere. They're just blowing it out their ass basically. It's a cell phone EMF defense device that you just plug into the charging port. Again, descriptions are pretty the same. Has the beam system, effective for 5G, that will yada yada. Now they do say it is compatible with Android and iPhone, which is pretty neat. They're selling it for $48 whole. And again, we found it on AliExpress for $1.03. And honestly, all this really is just a magnetic phone charger that doesn't even have the charger. It's just the first half of it, which I think is really stupid.
It literally just reminds me of something you would put in your phone to keep the dust out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Looking at this Ripple cell phone EMF defense, there is hardly any copper, if you could even call it copper. I bet you it's probably not even copper.
I bet it's just paint.
Yeah, allegedly it's not copper. Don't sue us, Conscious Copper. We'll get into that later. Really looks like it has a lot of reviews there, huh?
Oh yeah, it says 324 reviews on this one product, all of which are 5 stars? What?
Yeah, so we find this is very common for these products. Every single review on this website for a product is 5 stars. Every single review, no matter what. We went to the reviews page on the website and there is 1,034 reviews, and not one is less than 5 stars. Every single one of the 1,034 is 5 stars. I find that very hard to believe.
Yeah, it's kind of sketchy. Especially when you go through and read some of these. Some of them don't even have great things to say. They'll be like, it doesn't work that great. 5 stars. Which also, how do you measure if it's working great?
Exactly. I'm like, that makes no fucking sense. Okay. And I'm going to say this, even if they have the best product in the world, people fucking suck. People always have something to bitch about. So I highly doubt not one person was like, yeah, this product kind of fucking sucks. This product's stinky and gay. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We read a few of these reviews and some of them make absolutely no fucking sense.
Exactly. So I was looking at one here from Marcy Pelchat. Now these names on here, by the way, all very generic, almost like random name generator kind of stuff.
So the names on this website literally sound like when you're in middle school and you're trying to convince your classmates that, yeah, I have a girlfriend. Her name is Marcy Pelchat. You wouldn't know her. She doesn't go here. She lives in another town.
Exactly. And what's really funny is that some of these reviews are exactly the same word for word, even though they're really kind of abstract. Like this one from Marcy here. It says, okay, don't mark well for the European peg. Puff 00. Like, what does that even mean? And if you do a Control F on the review page, there's literally 2 of them exactly the same way.
What product was that even for?
That one was for the Ripple, the cell phone one. Now, the next one that has this exact same review from Sally Rayner, I feel like if they were going to make these same reviews, they should have at least done it on a different product.
I actually know Sally. Yeah, I think that's real.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was telling me about that.
Oh,
yeah, she said that's real.
That's fair.
Her peg puff 00. Yeah, that's good old Sally.
Good old Sally. Another great review here from Eleanor Kroner. It says, great. It works very well for the, get this, Raspberry Pi 4, except they're using it for the Ripple cell phone one instead of the Lattice, where the heatsink would definitely match up with the Raspberry Pi. It definitely doesn't make sense.
There's no place for you to even put that in a Raspberry Pi, is there?
Exactly. That's, yeah, for a cell phone.
Keeping with the trend of complete nonsense on this website, they have sources listed that are supposed to help provide extra information as to the harmful effects of EMF and 5G. They listed very boldly and proudly on the homepage of their website, they had the TED logo from TED Talks, and then they had a logo for Fox News, which, you know, I was absolutely going to look into. So the first quote listed under the TED Talk says, we are exposed daily to lower levels of ionizing radiation from both natural and man-made sources. So out of context, you know, whoa, that sounds kind of scary.
Exactly.
So I did a little digging and I found the video in which they used that quote from. This TED Ed talk is called Is Radiation Dangerous by Matt Anticle. So me and David actually sat down and watched this 5-minute video, and it absolutely contradicts everything this website is about.
Everything. We encourage you go watch it. It is actually really interesting. So circling back to the ionizing radiation part that we were talking about, There are lower levels of ionizing radiation, and essentially EMF can encompass higher levels and lower levels. And even with some credible sources, they can say that EMFs can cause like cancer and stuff like that, but that's more in reference to gamma rays and overexposure to X-rays, right? X-rays don't even have a ton of ionizing radiation that can be incredibly harmful to you.
Exactly. So we're always taught that, yeah, X-rays are harmful. That's why your X-ray tech is going to stand behind a barrier while you're getting your X-ray. But I mean, even watching this video, it actually tells you even that is just not even 100% true. It's not as harmful as you even think. So to quote this TED Talk, it says, you would need to get more than 1,200 dental x-rays to rack up your annual dosage. That's 1,200 in 1 year. The average person is getting maybe 10 x-rays a year.
Oh yeah, and that's a lot. I probably get like 1 or 2 a year.
I probably haven't had any dental x-rays in probably 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. The TED Talk absolutely contradicts what this website is saying.
Oh, yeah.
So for the next quote from Fox News, I had a feeling already that this was going to be hilarious. I was almost certain that this was going to lead back to something about the coronavirus. I just had a feeling. And what do you know? The quote listed on the website says, while radio waves on the higher end of the electromagnetic spectrum can indeed be harmful, the radio waves emitted by 5G towers are on the lower end of the spectrum. Literally just contradicting what that first quote said.
Exactly. I feel like they're just cherry picking these parts out of here and using it for what they feel like are valid claims.
Exactly. As I did with the first one, I looked up the quote. And what do you know? I was correct. The title of this article is called Coronavirus 5G Conspiracy Theory Debunked. Experts say there is no connection. Duh.
Ooh. Completely contradicts them as all their other quotes so far.
Exactly. And if you read this article, it's saying that it's not even dangerous. The funny thing about these quotes that they were proudly posting on their website was that a few days after we did this initial research, I had to go back. I had to see this website again. And what do you know? These sources absolutely disappeared from the website. You could not find them anywhere. The only way I could get these sources that they had on the website was from Google Images because they were still linked back to the website. And now, even as of today, they're not even there anymore. They found a way to delete them from Google.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I bet they found out, they're like, oh, we actually read these and they're not supporting our claims. Let's take them off. And I also noticed they added some new ones on here and ones that actually kind of support their claims, but these aren't even legit sources. These are just blogs of other people just talking about this stuff. And there's even one here from EMF Academy. One of the paragraphs is the question says, do EMF protection pendants or necklaces work? And the first thing it says, this is a tough answer. That's just crazy to me because it's like, no, it doesn't. Honestly, it can't. There's no way. And even the next paragraph, it says, so the short answer would be yes, they absolutely can work, but there are many fake products on the market. Yeah, no. There's all the products on the market are fake. Nothing protects against EMF that it's just a necklace.
My favorite thing is reading this website, as David previously stated that they did say yes, but then you read the next paragraph down. They say, also, I do not personally believe that EMF protection pendants or necklaces can block or absorb 100% of radiation. Then why are you wearing them?
Exactly.
Why would you then say yes, but then no?
Very contradictory. And again, all of these are just sort of blogs about people just talking about it like, hey, EMF can definitely be harmful. Yeah, if it's really high levels like gamma rays. They don't even mention, hey, radio waves.
It could be. It could be harmful, but is it though?
Yeah, probably not. Not likely, at least from the 5G cell towers.
Obviously, these websites are trying to get you to buy their useless shit because they have, Amazon affiliate links or anything else. And the products they have are absolutely ridiculous. There's a EMF radiation protection bush hat. It looks so frumpy and gross.
It looks like just a normal gardening hat.
And then they have it looks like they have a cover you can put over your Wi-Fi router that looks like a plastic bag. You can see there it links to their affiliate code.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that's crazy. And this plastic bag is $28 whole. It says it blocks 5G. And if you want to block 5G from your wireless router, then you wouldn't even be able to send internet signal out to your devices. Like, that's wild to me.
Exactly, because I'm like, that's literally what gives you your Wi-Fi, dude.
Yeah, you can't be blocking the 5G signal from your Wi-Fi.
So now that we've kind of discussed the products they sell and the claims they make on the website, I wanted to see if any more information was available on this company. Like, do they have a social media? Do they have reviews? I found a guy who was reviewing products from a company very similar to Conscious Copper. And to summarize this video, user Hans Hernke talks about his experience with EMF and 5G and how he and his wife want to protect themselves. He talks about this product he found on social media, which was a foot-long copper tower with wire wrapped around it, which he was considering buying for $1,200.
That's super steep.
That's insanely steep. And he was saying, yeah, you know, him and his wife would chip in half and they would each just carry it around the house. Like, if I am buying something for $1,200, that shit better be moving on its own. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Stick it on the Roomba. He then goes on to say, obviously, that was insanely expensive and they just really couldn't afford it. So he found this website called Copper Control, which has devices very, very, very similar. You could almost say exactly like the Lattice, which was the copper heatsink. And he bought 8 of them.
8?
He
Ooh.
bought 8 of them to protect him and his wife.
Kind of uncanny how similar it is, huh?
I know. And so he goes on to discuss the website and the products it sells. He says necklaces, stuff for your cell phone. And he mentions a product very similar to the Lattice, which he purchased. And he holds it up. It's exactly the same product. Oddly enough, this website was selling it for only $108 for 8, which is, you know, still a absolute robbery, but at least it was less than $68 for one.
Exactly.
So this kind of got me thinking. This Copper Control website has very similar products to Conscious Copper. And I started looking in the comments. All of these were probably about 5 months ago, and they're saying things such as, where is the link to this website? It's broken. It doesn't work. Which is weird because the user uploaded this on September 22nd, 2020. Not too long ago, right?
Exactly.
And this website's already defunct?
Ooh.
That's kind of weird.
Hella sketch. And we found that since Copper Control no longer exists, we kind of just did some research. We took the domain of Conscious Copper and threw it into like a little like domain searcher. And we found that it was only 4 months old, which is pretty consistent with this September of 2020 sort of deal. And we think that maybe they rebranded since. Maybe they were getting a lot of backlash. People in the comments of this video were saying, hey, this doesn't seem legit, or, hey, I didn't get my product after I sent them my money. So I feel like maybe they rebranded to Conscious Copper.
Exactly. Every single comment that mentioned purchasing something from Conscious Copper was saying, hey, I purchased stuff from them and I didn't get my money back and I didn't even get my product. And one user in the comments says, looks like Copper Control ripped me off. I have not received a refund after returning their product. Bad. It looks like even people who have like purchased the product and have gotten it have said it was absolute dog shit and returned it, and they didn't even get their money back.
And still on the website, everything is 5 reviews?
But that's quote unquote allegedly, if Conscious Copper is Copper Control, which I, as I said, allegedly think is 100% the same people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that about wraps up the video we found. So let's circle back around to the disclaimer they have on their website, which I would like to add is fairly hard to find unless you're looking for it. It's all the way at the bottom of the website, and it's, I think, third to last for site navigation. So it's kind of hard to find unless you're looking for it.
Right.
So I would like to read the disclaimer they have on their website, which was last updated February 25th, 2021. It states, the information provided by Beam Systems LLC, DBA Conscious Copper, in parentheses, we, us, or our, on the website consciouscopper.com, in parentheses, the site, is for general information purposes only. All information on the site is provided in good faith. However, we make no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, adequacy, validity, reliability, availability, or completeness of any information on the site. And the rest of the paragraph is, in all caps, under no circumstance shall we have any liability to you for any loss or damage of any kind incurred as a result of the use of the site or the products offered on this site, again in parentheses, products, or reliance on any information provided on the site. Your use of the site and the products and your reliance on any information on the site is solely at your own risk.
That's incredibly sketchy to me because, I mean, if you even see they have no liability, they say they have no liability for any loss or damage, meaning you can send them your money and then they could just not send you your product and they're not liable.
Yeah, they can be like, hey bro, you should have read the disclaimer. It's your fault.
Exactly.
The last sentence they have under the website disclaimer says, we assume no responsibility and/or liability for any oral or written claims made by our distributors, customers, employees, or advocates.
Ooh.
Which is even more damning evidence saying like, hey, we know the information we provide isn't 100% correct. We know that it could be false, and we know that some people might find out this is fake, but we kind of state that, hey, we don't claim any of this information. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like now you can't sue us because of this. And what was really funny to us is on this disclaimer, they put the site, the http://consciouscopper.com. But if you click this link, it leads to coppercontrol.com, which now 100% proves that they were Copper Control before and have since rebranded to Conscious Copper. They just haven't changed their hyperlink.
Exactly. So this website, which was allegedly scamming people before, is now back under a different name to scam people again. So after hours of searching for all of this information, we had to find out who the fuck these people were. There is absolutely no way I was going to go to sleep that night without finding out more information on these people.
Yeah, exactly. And so they actually had a phone number listed at the top left of their website, which they have since removed. You have to actually search for it now in the Contact Us region, but it is still there. But we called this number through, Alexa, your Google Voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it rerouted the number. It changed the number on there to a California area code, an 818 area code. Now, we wound up actually, through a lot of digging, actually found these people. And we're not going to mention any names, but there was the main lady, which really does narrow it down, right? The main lady on there, she was a photographer, by the way. She had a profile picture with like her camera and stuff, which would indicate that maybe she could have taken pictures of the products on this website herself, and so no one could reverse Google image search it, but she didn't, which may even indicate she doesn't even have these products in her possession, thus indicating even more of a scam.
Exactly. So as David was saying, we did call them, and I left a voicemail, which obviously they weren't going to respond to, which I think kind of started the shift into the, oh fuck, people are starting to find out that this is a scam. So in this voicemail, I was talking about the beam, the infamous beam mechanism, and I was just kind of inquiring on some of the products, and of course, I never got a response. So only a few days after I had made that phone call and left the voicemail is when we started noticing the information disappearing and the phone number disappearing. It kind of makes sense to be like, oh gosh, they found out we're a scam.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And of course, as I said, they did not respond, so I took it upon myself to email them. In this email, I said, "Hello there. I am looking into the products on your website and I have a few questions. I was wondering if I could get the trademark information for your products. I noticed that your products have a trademark included on the title, and I couldn't find any information on the government trademark search." And then I provided the website I used. "Would you mind providing me that information? Thank you. I would also like to inquire as to which state your LLC is registered to." Just to add that you have to find the state to look up their LLC, which they provided on the disclaimer page. "I want to make sure that before I order from your business that your organization is legit. As for my last question, would you please explain to me how the beam system works? Thank you in advance. I hope to hear from you soon."
Did they ever reply?
Absolutely not.
They didn't reply. And when did you send that email?
About a week ago?
About a week ago. Yeah.
About a week ago.
About a week ago. Yeah, they're probably not going to reply.
I highly doubt it. I probably scared him a little bit again.
Oh, yeah. I'm amazed they didn't change their website already now.
Exactly. It's crazy that these people can just get away with this,
Yeah, and it's really scummy of them, and it honestly should be illegal, but it's not because they already disclaimed they have no liability for your losses. It's just really unethical.
It's crazy. And it's crazy just being able to put a name and a face to this shitty website and be like, yeah, this chick did this. Exactly. Along with probably other people that she knows. And she's just okay with it. Like, yeah, I'm okay with scamming people. Like, what if that was other people who were associated with you? We found some other people that are pretty close to you. So it's just like, how are you okay with scamming people?
Right. Exactly. It's the worst, honestly.
In the future, guys, please, 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 please do your research on products. If you need to, do what we did. Reverse search the image on Alibaba, on any other app you want to do, AliExpress, even on Google. So if you're really not sure about the validity of these products, please do yourself a favor and reverse search these images, whether that be from Google, AliExpress, Alibaba, any app that you want to use to research more into a company you want to purchase from. Please do. There are probably millions of other websites doing the same exact thing to people every single day.
Exactly, right? Reputable sites like Amazon, even eBay, you know that you're going to get something. And if it's a website that doesn't necessarily seem very credible or very popular, even for that matter, definitely do your research, because if you spend your money on these and you get scammed, you're going to be upset. Anyone would be, really. And I know I would for sure. So just, again, be sure to do your research.
I think it's fairly obvious that these companies aren't going to take responsibility for scamming you. So please just do the due diligence to do it yourself. Unfortunately, that's just how it is nowadays. It's so easy to get scammed on the internet.
Exactly. Don't believe everything you see just because the website isn't terrible. It's pretty bad, but it honestly does look relatively legitimate if you just don't know what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's right. It reminds me of the question I was asking in our Facebook group earlier last week, talking about, has anybody ever been scammed? It was really sad reading those responses of people being like, yeah, I put $200 into this. I spent $150 on this thing thinking I'm getting a product, and I didn't. Please, guys, do your research. If you guys are interested in getting any more information on our podcast or any updates, please go to any of our various social medias. They're going to be under the name SunniDaze, spelled exactly like how it is in the podcast. And if you would like to join our Facebook group for exclusive updates, the name of our Facebook group is SunniDaze After Hours. We would love to have you guys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hop on over there. There's just like a little survey you have to answer probably, and then we can accept you and you can be a part of our discussions.
Mm-hmm. We're trying to build a community that we can talk to and have discussions with, so we would love that extra interaction.
Oh yeah, we'd love to have you there.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to our advice segment. So this week, since it is our very first episode, we are still waiting for our viewers to send in some advice they're looking for. If you're needing any advice, please go to our Linktree on all of our social medias. It'll be in the bio, and fill out the form. It's 100% anonymous. We don't save any of your information, just what you provide us. This week, since we did not get any submissions yet, since we're still getting started, we decided to hop over to the Am I the Asshole subreddit to read one of the posts. The title is, Am I the asshole for deleting a video and maybe ruining her career?
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
So they preface it by saying, non-native speaker, I, F20, have picked up a few skills over lockdown since there was a lot of staying at home. One of the skills is video editing, like After Effects and Premiere. I had a fair share of hours learning and improving these things and learning from tutorials. Well, a friend of mine heard that I edit, saw a few of my fandom edits, liked them, and wanted me to edit a music video she made. She wanted to send it to one of those music companies and release it. The video is around 3 minutes and 20 seconds long, and mostly done outside, so I knew I'd have a lot of work correcting everything, so it would look pretty. She told me she wanted it done like a fandom edit. I agreed, since I cut videos for friends a lot. Well, in the middle I realized it was way more work than I expected. I think even the first 20 seconds took me about 4 to 5 hours or so. So, at some point I asked her for pay, like €4 an hour, since I'm not a professional, and I was still a lot on the side. She said no, she doesn't have money. I felt the no money part and told her she doesn't have to worry. Well, at some point I just finished the thing. I felt bad because it was obvious I put more effort into the beginning than the rest, and I do have a real full-time job, so I sacrificed a few of my weekends for this. She was livid and told me to redo the last part. I agreed to redo the point she wanted. This happened a few more times. Then I asked her to go in Discord for me so she could tell me what was wrong. She declined since she doesn't know anything about this stuff. At this point, my boyfriend got to know all about this and he told me to cut it off, discussed it, and in the end, I told her I wouldn't do the work for her, and if she wants something done, she should go hire someone professional. She called me crying and told me I need to finish this. It's the most important thing in her life. I was done with this at this point and hung up. I went to the computer and deleted all versions of the video I had at the Dropbox and at my desk since I was so angry. Well, turned out she didn't save any of the video, only the raw cut from the beginning. She tried to reach out through my friend and I said I deleted it, and my phone blew up. Messages from Instagram came in insulting me, and they even reported my edit account. It's still there, luckily, but I was checked from Instagram. I later heard the company wasn't interested in her. My boyfriend said that I shouldn't feel bad. My friend said she was shitty, but I shouldn't have deleted everything. The other said that I owe her, because I agreed to do it and that I'm the worst. I do realize that I shouldn't have deleted the videos, but I kinda don't feel 100% like an asshole since she didn't save anything. Only maybe 80%. So am I the asshole?
So my hot take on this is that she is not an asshole. Now, this is coming from somebody who is a video editor and have done videos for clients in the past. I feel that if the client themselves has not saved all of their work, then that is their fault essentially, because why would you essentially cut your work to the person that you're video editing to? If you're not paying them and it's only on word of mouth, there is absolutely no reason why you should be mad at them for deleting your work. Because if you sent it, you should still have your own copies. And again, she said she's not going to pay her, and she kept asking for re-edits and re-edits and re-edits. And from somebody who's done that same thing, from someone who is not paying me, who keeps asking for re-edits and is just taking hours and hours and hours of work, I get done. I get very frustrated and I just don't want to work on it anymore. And I definitely feel that she is in the right for not completing the edit for her. What's your take on it?
I 100% agree with you. I don't think that this person is an asshole for honestly trying their best to complete this project for the girl, you know? So I have had people who have expected a lot from me for free just to do stuff for them, you know? Like whether that be drawing things for them, whether that be like crafting things for them. And it comes down to it, you don't have to do something just because somebody asks you. You are well within your right to say, no, I've tried helping you and I've tried setting this up to where it would work for you and you aren't listening. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to cut ties.
Absolutely.
That doesn't make you an asshole. I feel like that actually makes you more professional than anything. It's way better to say, I can't do this. So this person tried to fix their mistakes, and the client just still wasn't even happy,
Exactly.
Which I think if you are doing a service for somebody for free, that person then should not have any right to be super picky about what they're getting.
Exactly. And this person also said, hey, if you want this done right, hire someone professional. I am not the person for this job, even after spending hours of their time on it. But that's just my take on it, and I feel like you and I both agree we're on the same page. Let us know what you guys think. Is she an asshole for not completing the job, or are you in agreement with us, or maybe somewhere in the middle? Let us know.
Mm-hmm. So I think that about ties up our thoughts for this episode today. I just want to thank you guys so much for tuning in today. And remember, stay sunny.
Stay sunny.